Cardinal Coffee. Power check. The time has come to make a decision.
That's right. I invited Arlo to help us decide, but he hadn't showed up yet. Arlo!
Nope.
Anyway, we got to decide where we're going to put the bandboard. The bandboard is a decorative piece, actually, that is going to separate the lap siding from the board and batten siding. And
It has some function, though.
it does. It actually makes the transition from the two types in a waterproof way with a piece of flashing. So it is functional and aesthetic. We have a little bit of freedom to move up and down where we're going to place it, do what we think is going to look the best. And so now we got to get up here, take some measurements, and decide where it's going to go so that we can move on.
I was afraid you might say that. You got the game plan?
Yeah.
Jamie will explain it again.
Yeah, a couple rows there, with a little thing there, and a row there, and flashing.
Perfect.
You're gonna have to manage Jason. I don't think he's really got the whole idea.
I thought that was my full-time job anyway.
Well, it is. You know,
That's why we brought you on, actually.
the Jason management team.
So we're gonna have to cut some boards, and I got a new tool. Again, this is happening a lot these days, which is awesome. What we've got here is another Flex 7 1/4 cordless saw, 24 volt. What's different is it's the rear handle. See that? Jason stared at this thing for like 10 minutes. He's like, it's the same.
It was like 30 seconds,
okay.
not 10 minutes.
It's the rear handle, and this is something you don't see a lot around here for some reason. It's more of a West Coast thing, having the rear handle, like kind of like the old worm drive style saws, and I've never even used one. So we're gonna crack this thing open today and tell you what we think about it. West Coast, East Coast.
East Coast, Midwest.
You know who I saw using it?
Who?
Canadian Carpenter.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
Well, and hey, full disclosure, this just came in the mail to my house. I didn't purchase this. Flex sent it to me. I didn't even know it was coming, so that was a great surprise. It was better than my Christmas present.
Seriously? That's what my cat looks like when I put tape on his paws. He tries to get it off like that.
This will be the first worm drive saw we've ever used.
Well, see, I don't know if it's really worm drive.
What?
Well, I mean, it's a rear handle, which you would assume it's a worm drive, not a direct drive. A direct drive is like the saws we have.
That's a big honking battery.
It is.
That's nice.
What is it?
I don't know.
10 amp hour.
Big. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's definitely the biggest one I've seen.
Jamie's setting them up, and nobody knocked it
What
down.
about the batteries? Boom, boom. I didn't know if I should go.
Everybody out on
I didn't know if I should go there. I was ready, but I was like, I don't know if I should do that.
So there it is, the rear handle.
Oh,
But see, I think it is a direct drive.
It is. I think you're
It's
right.
not a worm drive.
I
but
don't see a worm at all.
Okay, can you, for the layman over here, what is worm driving?
It was a geared drive, meaning the motor was kind of mounted, and it wasn't directly on it. The blade wasn't directly on the shaft of the motor.
Right. It was like almost like a differential kind of drive shaft, differential drive thing in your car, kind of like that.
Try again.
Tells me nothing.
Like a ring and pinion gear.
Yeah. So when this has got a big rafter hook.
Still lost.
I don't know if that's really what
Man,
it is.
okay, and that's a two-hander. Did come with the blade.
Where's Arlo at?
I don't know.
Jono! Cut guy!
I hope it's not a moving truck. We are not done. In case you missed it in the last video, we're rabbiting out the back of this bandboard to essentially turn it into a piece of lap siding. We're painting this so that it's all sealed up, and then it's lapping down over the siding, the last row we put up there.
What am I doing? Just resting it on here?
This bandboard is pretty much sitting on our siding on that notch, but we did chalk a line too, just to be sure we're running level and straight. That was Jamie's idea.
You're welcome.
You gotta keep pretty good decent gap.
Dang, he went straight back for the saw. 1 second break.
Here it is.
Clear? We clear? It's hard on a job. Oh,
No.
there he goes.
Not clear.
It must be.
Is he done?
Yeah, that sounds like it's done.
Okay. We put our band on the wall, and to transition from that to our board and batten siding, we need a piece of flashing called a Z flashing, like Zorro.
Better watch.
So this is a piece of flashing that goes over the top of our piece of band and then behind the siding that's above that. And we just nailed it on top of the house wrap, cut the house wrap, flipped the house wrap up, flash taped it to the wall on top, and now we can go up with the siding. One thing I'll say is that we made this in our shop on our metal brake, and for a long time we did not have a metal brake, and we had no way to buy this exact depth 1" or 1 1/8 inch deep Z flash like this. And so we had to hire like a metal shop in Franklin to make it. It took forever. It was super expensive. So we make it ourselves now, which is about the only way I think is a good way to do it.
It is a good way to do it. Plus, you can get a little slope out on it if you want.
Oh, so I knew Jamie was going to add. So I just why we keep rolling, and I just wait. Yeah. Jamie's going to add a little something extra.
Well, if you stop talking, you know I'm coming in.
Okay,
with it.
so yes, the Z Flash has about a 10-degree pitch on the top of the bandboard, so that water will shed off like a little tiny roof.
Isn't that
it was
nice?
kind of weird. I touched your beard there, but the way it's flipped out over the scaffolding, it's just like still on display.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and do the siding now. That is a forest fire.
That is
for
a forest
sure.
fire.
That is? Yep.
Yeah, that's smoke. Which way is the wind blowing? I'm thinking we should probably ride over there to the ridge.
Let's check it out.
I mean, I don't want to just get back to work if there's a freaking fire coming over the mountain.
He's got a halo or a ring or whatever it is, by the way.
Well, just back up here and see what's going
And
on.
he's got a deer cam right there.
Oh, wow.
That is not good.
No, I think that is the other side of the gorge. The right, that'd be the north side of the gorge. But it's coming down the south face of those. Well, we think the fire is not coming this way, and it's far enough away to where we're gonna keep working.
Oh man.
And hopefully they can get that figured out. We did call it in to the authorities here and give them a description of basically where we think it is, which is the other side of the Nantahala Gorge from where we are. And they're looking for it. Send it. Check out our 3/8 of an inch gap right here on top of our Z flash like we were talking about. We're just using a piece of the scrap siding, which is 3/8, sticking it in there and then letting our board down to that, and that's working real nice. I'm not scooting around you.
Come on, I'm good. Go ahead.
Come over here and swap.
Hey, look, I got plenty of room to go around.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, go ahead. You got plenty of room.
I'm good. All right.
Hey, we touched tips. I thought we had something.
We did have something. All right, here we go. Now we're by. I wanted to check out how we notched, I guess rabbeted would be the more technical term, the back of these window trims so that they're not tipped. And I think that's just the way we can do something better. You can see originally we shot it on there. We're gonna have to caulk those. Those are too deep. Deep divers. Well, we're gonna have to caulk them and then repaint them again. So let's see the next piece.
Right here.
Yep. So you can see how we took this little
We plumed it.
eighth of an inch rabbet out of there, and that's to account for the thickness of this window flange. And now to lay flats. Let's do it.
It'll
Put it on there.
plume.
Let's get on down there, Ray. We're sagging this walkboard a little extra here.
It'll plume nice.
You got too many
All right.
big bolts on here. You would think that because it's big sheets that it would go a lot faster, but it's not. There's like cuts and measurements that need to be taken with each panel, and it's definitely slowing down the process a lot.
I would agree with you there. Lap siding, you just measure like one piece at a time, whereas this, you're measuring, like this piece is shaped like an eye. It's like, and it had like probably 7 or 8 different measurements.
Right.
And we're yet to see if
We don't know
if
it's gonna
Jason
fit.
took it down right. He was down there making a drawing, and we were like, oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
this don't look good. Here they come.
Look right. Okay, those windows are not the same height.
There's your giant billboard eye. Let's see if they did it. Okay, they got the overlap and the underlap parts right. I mean, it looks right.
Looks right.
It looks right. We'll tell you in a second.
Looks can be deceiving though.
All right, so just so you know, they're already blaming me that this thing's not going to fit. They haven't
not
even,
what I said.
They
I
even
said-
talked about that Ray measured it, so of course it's going to be on me if it doesn't
All
fit.
I said was, Jason, can you come up here and film us putting this in to see if it fits? That's all I said.
Yeah, that's short for it's not going to fit. It's Jason's fault.
So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna space it up. Does it? All right, drop it down. All right, come to me. Oh, wow. That's a perfect three. I got 3/16 here. I go with that. Okay. That's gonna get covered there. Okay. It fit. All right. It fit perfect.
Teamwork, me,
Teamwork.
buddy.
Woohoo! Ray J Builder Buddies right there, kid.
It fit.
That's
all
how we
right.
roll. And the cut man. There's the cut man.
We're not sealing these edges because that's gonna get cut again later.
Why is that?
Because we gotta cut the window trim in later.
Because we have no windows.
Right, yeah. Everybody's bringing that up. But yeah, the panel is a good fit. We're gonna nail it. Good job, guys. We just shot something. Let me go inside.
Yeah, did you hear it? I heard it.
Something was under pressure, yeah. And it just so yeah, let me go inside. I'm glad you heard that, seriously. Nail. In line. Usually we have the siding on before the line sets or anything are done, but because we couldn't do the siding because we didn't have windows, now we're shooting line sets. So
What is line?
what is line? It luckily it was pressurized. We heard. Call Daryl. He'll probably charge us
$5,000.
$5,000 to drive out here and fix that.
Not answering.
He's smart.
He's probably fixing someone else's line set right now. If I had it my way, I would have all the siding nailed on before there was any electrical, any plumbing, any heating and air done inside the house. Because you could easily shoot a nail through the back of an electrical box. Here's one,
Yeah.
you know. That's not out of reach. Now they do drill the studs. They favor the inside just a little bit.
Drywall nails or screws are shorter.
Yeah, they use like 1-inch screws for the drywall, and the drywall's a 1/2 inch thick. So they do kind of try to prevent this, but
It still could happen.
I will say at least the insulation's not in here.
Yeah.
I would say it's crazy to nail siding on a house after the insulation.
Yeah.
You think it's crazy?
You never know what you hit, maybe.
You wouldn't know, and you probably wouldn't find it. Maybe.
Till the drywall's on. Till you're moved in.
Hey, this circuit doesn't work. It's because I nailed it to the thing with the nail. That's why. And good luck finding it, you know.
You guys want me to let Jamie talk, so I'm not gonna interrupt.
Story time. I have a quick story. A short story.
It's already long.
This one time, we replaced the siding on a house. We pulled off vinyl siding. We put on LP Smart Siding.
Oh yeah, on like a double wide type.
And, we also replaced the sheathing. There was like the black insulation kind of sheathing looking stuff.
Right.
I don't even know what that is. So we put sheathing over top of that, and we screwed it on. And one of the screws went through, and it shorted out some wire in the house. And I only knew that because I went into the house to use the restroom, and the lights didn't work in there. And I knew that they worked earlier. It was my father-in-law's house, actually. So knowing that we had just done that last sheet, and it worked until then, we thought maybe that was it. And sure enough, we pulled the first screw that we pulled out, which was the last screw that we had installed, went through a nail plate.
It's a good screw.
And it went in and zapped and shorted out a wire. It literally went straight through a nail plate.
And maybe you guys don't know how lucky that is to have put in thousands of screws into a wall, and the very first screw you pull out was the one.
It was amazing, a miracle, you might say. So we were able to get that repaired because we had access from the outside of the house. We didn't have to take any drywall off inside. We repaired it from the outside. And that's my story. Isn't that nice?
I think Ray enjoyed it. Did Daryl call you back yet?
No, I'm waiting.
All right.
I'm going to go out and sit in my truck till he calls me.
Yeah, I've heard that story about 10,000 times. Here's to 10,000 more.
He's got him on the phone.
Oh,
So we've got a little bit of time before he gets covered up.
Wonder if he's getting cursed out.
Sorry, we're idiots. That was a hawk, Jay. That guy was, yeah. I'm back down here with the flashing guy
I don't know why I get stuck doing this.
because it sucks.
Here I am. Okay. Okay. I have my 1x4. You see it up there?
I see it.
All right, I've got my counter flash.
Okay.
But before that, I did all this kind of wrapping of the bottom of the 1x4, just in case any of it was exposed. It would be wrapped in metal.
Yeah.
But it has to be wrapped in such a way that water can't get in.
That's the whole point.
So you can't just wrap it any old way. So that's done. There's a little bit of flashing tape in there. There's some Lexel in there.
And you are gonna flash tape that to the sheathing layer as well.
Yeah, that'll get sliced, folded up, taped, folded down, stapled.
All right, flashing
on.
guy, what's the point
All right,
here?
okay. I want to show something really important about this thing. One is I want to show you how the step flashing for the actual shingles will go in.
Okay.
See, what I want to point out is that this flashing hangs off past the front of the drip edge.
It does.
I needed this actual piece of drip edge that we're going to use so that the first shingle, the absolute first shingle, has flashing all the way out to this outside corner. And that's the absolute end of the
Shingles.
shingle. There you go.
Stick out
Okay, you're getting it.
Way out there.
Yeah, and then of course the next piece of step flashing would go like that, and they would lap all the way up, making all water come out here. Now this corner is this is what I really want to point out.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is good stuff.
This is so
Stick
good.
around. This is the good
All
stuff.
right.
coming.
The water at its farthest place closest to the house is gonna drip right here. Now what I love about that, and the reason that this board is an inch wide here,
It's past the depth of the siding.
the siding will come up under like this, and then the next piece
Yep.
over like that. It'll all be cut and fitted. The water will drip outside of the siding.
On the face of the siding,
By-
not like in the depth of the siding.
Yeah, if this step flashing, which most houses are, my house at home is not like this. It's the traditional way, where the step flashing is nailed to the sheathing.
Tight to the sheathing.
Then you have a situation where the roof surface runs behind the siding.
Yes.
And if you don't take care of flashing that detail perfectly, which is really difficult, by the
You
way.
could have water just running behind your siding.
It's a really bad place to have a penetration for water to get in, and you'll never know it until it's too late, and it'll rot out.
I see why you're the flashing guy now. You're just getting pretty.
I get a little heated about it, but I love that water it's all spaced out.
Yep.
The thickness. Now, if you had some crazy thick siding, let's think about that. What if it was D-log siding, where your siding is, what is it? I don't know.
It's like 2 inches thick, maybe?
2+. You would want this piece to be thicker than that,
three
that thick
and a
or
half or
thicker.
something.
Yeah, otherwise you could still dump it in behind the siding, and that'd be bad. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of ways to make it better. I don't know. There's probably people that actually know what they're doing, somewhere. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you know what you're doing.
Well, I'm doing something, and I just told you about
All right,
it.
I'm going to go do something else.
Okay.
I'll do it.
We've never installed siding before windows like this, so we're sort of making up the rules as we go. And again, if you missed it in the last video, what we're doing is holding about 2 inches shy of the rough framing opening so that there's room for the window flange to go in. And then we'll probably have to cut this, we'll definitely have to cut this back more later for the window trim to be let in. We're not putting the window trim on top of these panels. There are ways you could do that in the technical guidelines, but we have the full 5/4 thick trim, and then the battens themselves will go on top of the panel, and they are thinner, so they'll flush out with the face of our trim that we let in. I think it's just a better way to flash it because you can get that Z-flash in under the panel versus just trying to do like a caulk type of seal to the panel with no real flashing to stop water. Back to this saw for a minute. We've been using it to cut a few pieces of siding. My honest opinion is this is too much of a saw for siding. We don't need this heavy duty of a saw for siding. But if we were ripping yellow pine or cutting rafters, this thing would be amazing. It's a monster. It's like insane.
Do it again.
Speed.
Wow, that looks cool through the camera. I hope it turns out that way.
One other thing we realized is it's a different kind of battery. I was doing some reading on this thing. It's a stacked lithium battery. And it says it has 200% more power and like 300% longer battery life or something. So we'll let you know on that. But that's pretty amazing if that's what's going on. Here's a look at our LP Smartside Expert Finish battens. Batons. You can see that they're only 3/4 or 5/8, and on top of our panel, they flush out exactly with our window trim that's let in to the sheathing layer. So those are gonna get shot on here in just a second, covering the gaps, covering a lot of these nails like that, and making it all look real fancy. The look we're trying to replicate here is a board and batten, which literally is a type of siding where you nail boards to the wall, say 12 inches wide, and then you nail a batten over where the boards butt together like that. And that's a board and batten, and that's because back in the day, that's all you could get. You couldn't get like panels of exterior finish like this. So we're just replicating that with panels and then the batten strips, 16 inches on center. There's another type called board on board, where you have boards with a bigger gap, and instead of a narrow batten, you have a wide board across the gap. And they maybe lap an inch on each side. And that's what my mom's house is board on board instead of board and batten. That's hard to say.
It's all bees.
Board and board, yeah.
Yeah, they make shadow box almost, or like fences like that.
Yeah, exactly. Still really smoky, but we didn't burn down, so
Super smoky. I'm
I
starting
don't-
to choke out
don't
here.
know what the fire's doing, but we're still here. What's the weather for tomorrow?
Partly sunny with a chance of rain in the morning, but then it's gonna be cloudy with showers, and then they're gonna have a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Sounds
So I think
they have
we're
no
good.
idea.
Gusts up to 35 mph.
Yeah, I think no matter what happens,
Yeah.
they got
It
it
may
right.
be sunny and it might rain. It might not be sunny and it might not be raining.
Perfect.
And it might be windy.